All right, we are live. Let's just wait for people to get here. Hello, if you're already here, how are you? Are we live? Cause I don't see anything. I think we are. Yep. Yep, we are. That looked kind of bad. Let's see. Let's check the. Looks okay. Alright, so we are live for another week. And we're gonna talk about Houdini. Houdini stuff. Houdini stuff. Whew. Alrighty, so it's really hot here. We are having a really hell of a summer. Hopefully you guys are getting not that bad of a summer. I don't see the notification that we're live, which is weird. Alright, Doka. Hello, Doka. I've never seen you here before. Are you a boy or girl? Or do you want you prefer to not tell? I don't know. Disney. He's a boy. Cool. Hey, Tim. What's up, Tim? How are you? Bender. Hello, Bender and Cool BFX. What's up? Hello, everyone. Hello. People's getting here. Diogo. What's up, Diogo? Alright, so we're gonna start with a little bit of news, I guess. This is not the datasets I was looking for, but there's more here. There's more stuff here. Any updates on my server? My server, I don't know what you mean, but my server it's doing all right, I guess. Yeah, there's been some stuff that Disney released, some data sets, and it's pretty cool. I've been looking at the scenes, although I haven't had much time. You saw the clouds. I haven't opened the clouds one. I opened the Moana scene. Damn it, I can't find it now. Can't find the damn link now. Here we go. Here it is. Here's the FX Guide article of it. So Walt Disney Animation Studio released these data sets, and it's pretty nice because you can see real production sets our assets. So this is from the Moana island, and it's pretty big actually. It's like 60 gigabytes, 70 gigabytes, something like that, which is, it's alright. It's a really big scene. Sorry, but it's broken up into a lot of stuff, so I need to maybe script some stuff to get it to work and get it into Houdini. I was trying to get something into render it with RenderMan, because the textures are ptext textures, so they don't use UVs, which is really really interesting. I didn't think anyone was really using ptext, and I actually want to use ptext because UVs are not super awesome, but tools like Substance Designer don't support ptext and stuff like that. So, but I know that 3D Code does support ptext, so I might go and look at it again. But there's a big cloud data there that you can take a look at it, see how the real clouds in production look. I recently done a project with clouds, which was really fun. Moana, the Moana scene, it's really nice. I opened a bunch of the assets, but they are not like, it's not like a complete scene that you can just open. Hey Muhammad, what's up? So it's not just like a scene that you can just open and render it. So they give you like the leaves and the trees separately, and then you have to scatter the objects to it. So that's what I'm looking at. Sorry, Fedor, what's up? This is what I'm looking at. Sorry, I didn't change the screen there. So this is the data sets. They are releasing is they are free for research and development, they say, or something like that. Or license, each one has different licenses. This is Creative Commons Attribution Share Alike 3, which is you just have to mention that it's from them. And the other one, it's just for research. This one, it says that you can use it for research or software development, including benchmarking purposes. So I'll investigate if I can use this for training. Maybe I can do some training with this scene, because I suspect I'm gonna have to write a few scripts to get this working in Houdini. So that's one thing, which is pretty cool. It's really nice to see all those assets that are actually really real production stuff. Look at my newest video. Thank you for that reaction. Was awesome. Which is your latest video, Starius 2? I don't know. I might not know you by that name. Hey Mix Jen, what's up, man? Or girl, I don't know. So yeah, that happened, and which is great. If you don't know, I also released a tab 2 build last week. I'm gonna release a new one this week actually already, because there's been a lot of changes. But if you haven't, grab the latest release, which is version 08. 0.08. It has a lot of changes and it's way faster. Hey Polygon Animate, hello. You ask what's up. Yeah, I ask what's up. How are you doing, Mexgen? You set up some renders in Houdini with particles in Redshift. Great. That's pretty great. I love to use Redshift anytime I can. So I don't want to waste too much time today. I'm going to just go and talk about MOPs. And I actually released already a tutorial about this. Let's see. So this was what, yesterday? Yes, yesterday I released this video doing a texture transition, which was really fun. I've been enjoying doing MOPs. Uh, MOPs, using MOPs is really nice. I've been trying to do that a lot more, and one of the reasons is because I like those cinema kind of stuff. They look cool. Let's open one of the projects that actually I can open the render of it. Right? Should be. I also did this one. I didn't post a tutorial about this. I posted this on Instagram, which is just let's open this one with BLC. You guys can see that, right? So this is just some cubes that transform. Hello, Mary Boy. Some cubes that transform into spheres and then become active objects. And I did another one. Let me see, where did I put that one? I didn't create a video of that yet. Here, let me open it with DigiView. Should it open with that? Yeah. I opened it twice now. So this is another one I did. Again, it's really motion graphics related stuff, which it's good. It's nice. I like to do that kind of stuff as well. Hey Riz, what's up, man? So this is just letters. Somebody asked me if you can do the letters, and I was just like, yeah, I can do you can do letters. It's my name on Instagram. It's Mix Training. Is it? It's Mix TRN. Sorry. Here it is. It's Mix TRN. That's my Instagram name. If you want to follow me there, I post a lot of stuff of graphics and related stuff of like that. So yeah, so let's I want to do a few things with like this today, like because the new MOPs things opens a few doors and makes some stuff a little bit more simple. And I was listening to a podcast, and this person that it's a recruiter from Framestore was saying that they had a lot of they had like a hard time finding Houdini artists that do more motion graphics or abstract kind of effects. So I was like, okay, so I should get more stuff like that out there because people need to know that stuff as well. So I started looking more into MOPs and getting some ideas from cinema and started making some stuff, and that's why I did that tutorial about the flipping and etc. So let's go to the LearnDay episode and let's start doing some stuff. Vander says, does tattoo work on the student version? Yeah, tattoo works in any Houdini version, even in the apprentice version. It's not that it doesn't fall into the licensing stuff or whatever. Tattoo works in any Houdini version. Alright, so let's start doing some stuff, and if you want to learn more, you can see the tutorials on their site. They have a few tutorials here, motionoperators.com. Again, if you want to know how to install this stuff, see their video on how to install it here in video tutorials. and they have a really good tutorial on installing, and I also covered a little bit in my tutorial here in this switching textures video. You should check that to install it. It's pretty simple. It's not that hard to install. Then you can see what the operators do and all that stuff. But I want to talk a little bit about what actually MOPs is doing. Again, I'm not a developer of MOPs. I'm not involved with them or whatever. So if I say something wrong, it's wrong. But this is how I understand what's happening. So you have, let's open the tab menu. You can see they have generators, which is just a way to generate geometry or copy geometry or make geometry into basically into packed geometry. So you can use the instancer. Let's create an instancer. The instancer is the most common one. Let's not use that default cube. Let's use a box. And in the instancer, you need to plug the objects you want to instance. And if you have used Cinema and the MoGraph tools, you will be like ahead of the curve with this, because it takes the concepts from there and brings them to Houdini. So you can instance geometry here, and then you can say you can have more than one geometry as well. But let's go for one right now, and you can see you can go for radial array or any different types of arrays. Let me make this geometry smaller, 0.1, 0.2. So you can have different kind of arrays and different. You can modify the amount. There you can have it on a sphere. That's on a sphere, and then you can have them on a grid or on a mesh. You need to select a mesh to make it to a mesh. You can have it on a curve, and you need a curve for that. You can have it on a honeycomb, which it's could be good for making bricks or something like that, brick layouts. Let's do the radius like that. You can see you can create a grid for RVDs really quickly with this. Create a wall. All right, so but the cool thing is, well, the generators it's one cool thing, but the cool thing about this is that these instances are basically just packed primitives. If you middle click here, you can see we have packed geometry. So basically what this means, I talked about packed geometry before, but basically what this means just points. So hey Grant, I could go through that setup, but I don't know. But if you are not staying, why should I do it? You need to stay. All right, so these guys are just packed geometry, which means they are not geometry that you can just select and modify directly. You can see if I want to select the points of this, I actually can't. I am selecting the whole thing. With points, you select the whole thing, because each one kind of becomes like a one single point. So that means that you can do really cool stuff really quickly, and you're just modifying one single attribute, which is it's good, because I've done that for forever. I love to use pack primitives for a lot of effects, and I do weird things with them, animate them just like points and stuff like that. So all right, so this is one way you can generate geometry or instances. But if you're understanding what I'm saying, this is just packed geometry with some special parameters that they add on top of that. So This is not magic. They didn't invent something different. They just took what Houdini has for packed geometries, added some parameters, and then they created some cool tools to modify those parameters. So I'm not taking anything from the tools. The tools are really cool, but it's nothing new. Let's say you could always do this in Houdini, and they are actually, because they are not creating anything new here. Quotes, because there's a lot of code here. So you can see if you unlock this HDA, you can see everything. What's happening here is just basically Houdini nodes and a lot of Bex code. That's something that's why I was like putting quotes on that, because they are doing a lot of code. So there that looked like it was connected to itself. Weird. So they are doing a lot of Bex, and it's really nice because the tools are really fast, because they're doing most of the heavy work. It's been done in Bex, which is great, and the guys that are doing it are really good. So they know what the hell they're doing. So, but again, this is just, I want to emphasize the point that this is just packed primitives. So what's happening here, it's just adding points and copying stuff and making packed primitives. Actually, is there a point where they are being copied? And it's adding, yeah, there's even a copy to points here. I think that's for the when you do the you choose when you choose grid distribution tab. Now they're doing it with just adding points with Bex. So they creating or adding a point and then adding geometry on top of that, which is all right. It's good. I guess that it's faster. Okay, so and the way the reason I'm highlighting that this is just a packed geometry is because you can use anything basically. So, but let's keep with this theme for now. Hey Bob, the video is fuzzy. Is fuzzy? Shouldn't be, man. Let's see here. Should look really nice. It's not fuzzy, man. Just switch to HD. Should look better. Bob, switch to HD, dude. Alright, so they have these generators, right, for creating geometry. The explorer, the subdivider, and the sweep spline. And then they have the modifiers, which is the second part of this, and the falloffs, which are the middle part of this. So we create falloffs to let's say tell the tools what parts we want to affect. So by default, the falloff. Let's do something cool with this actually. Now that we have this kind of a wall, let's do it like that. All right, whatever. So then the falloff means where is the area that you want to affect, right? So we have this linear one, but there's a sphere and the box, and there's a torus and a lot of other ones. Cylinder, actually, there's not a lot. But you can rotate this if you want to affect in another direction. Let's say I want to affect from here to here, and this is doing nothing. This is just setting the area that you want to affect. But you can animate this, of course. Let's animate it from here, from there to there. Wow. So yeah, I animated that thing. I haven't done anything yet. So to do something with this, and these colors, it's just the color. It doesn't mean much. Well, it means what areas it's being affected. You can change this to different kind of maps, and then you need a generator to do something. Let's say we have a bunch of generators here. I mean a modifier, sorry. Let's use the transform one. MOPs transform modifier. So the transform modifier by default is not gonna do anything because it's just gonna say, all right, I'm gonna set this parameter. So you need to start setting parameters. Like, let's say I want to move everything up by 1 unit. So now that's gonna be that. It's gonna be affecting that like that. So this is one way you can modify that, which is pretty cool. We can actually rotate the objects as well as they are moving up. They are rotating. You can see them. They are rotating. You can scale them down if you want, like that, just disappearing. You can scale them up if you want. Scale mode, replace. Now let's give it like that. So you can do that, or scale them up if you want them to be bigger. So you can do, basically you're transitioning between one state to the other state, right? It's just, that's what's happening, and you're controlling that with this falloff, which is something that is really cool. These falloffs are really useful. All right, Excel's tab 2, it's implemented in Python. It's all Python stuff. Do you also do HDK? I've done a little bit of the HDK. It's not fun. You can actually tweak the UI with the HDK. You can tweak some stuff in the viewport. You can have your own renderer for stuff in the viewport. You can implement your own tools and stuff, but you can't tweak the UI. The Houdini UI is not tweakable with the HDD. You can create your own UIs for your tools, but you can't tweak the Houdini UI with the HDK. All right, so this is what you do. There is other things you can do, and you can actually build on top of this. Let's say I want to do, let's say that this is one thing I'm gonna do, like that, and we can create another falloff. This time it's gonna be, let's say, spherical, and this one's gonna do something else. I don't know, modifier, to bring all the modifiers. Let's say, oh, actually, I like a lot the spring modifier. Let's put the spring modifier, and then it's gonna just add an extra spring to the movement that we added there. But let's keep that out of there. We can actually, let's say, modify, let's say, the color of this, and we're modifying the color with that. But you can see the sphere, it's being left behind because it's over here, but we're modifying color with that, and we can add any colors we want here. You can also have blend modes for the falloffs, right? We can do something else with that modifier. The curve modifier, it's a really cool thing as well. I don't want to delete that one. Let's see. Let's make this sphere be up here, and in the curve modifier, let's go to, I don't know, 1. You can see they are being rotated and then being modified with the curve modifier. You can actually do trails as well with that, have this kind of effect, which is really cool. Little bit of let's make the scale a little bit smaller. So now you can, as they are actually moving up, they are reaching this new falloff, and then they are starting to go into this weird curl noise here. Sorry, I was a little bit lost there. We can actually make this bigger, and that's too big now. Let's go to 2, and maybe move that modifier a little bit higher, like that. So now you can kind of have this really cool abstract effects with there's not much effort here. You can see we just created a few nodes and make this look really cool. And yeah, it looks pretty cool. We can change the amplitude of the curl noise if we want more amplitude or less. If you don't want it to be that much movement, but you can see that already looks pretty nice. And we could keep doing stuff on top of this. We can add more things, but so yeah, you get the idea. You can stack modifiers and add shapes and etc. So now the other thing I want to mention is I was actually using like Grant was saying, I did that setup that I show you with the, let's say this one, which is actually some squares becoming spheres, and then they become rigid body objects as well. So what I did for that, I used some of the it's some of the actually, let's say, low level data nodes for MOPs, which is this apply attribute. And what I did for that is, let's say I created a box. So it's basically like creating a length shape. So I created a box, and then I subdivided this box a lot. So let's create a subdivide node, and I give it like 3 subdivisions, and then copy this, and then so I have the same topology. I overridden the crease here, so if I don't see the wireframe, I have a sphere here, and I have oh, what happened there? Don't crash. Let's save this in LearnDay 62 MOPs. So there we go. We have a sphere on this side, and we have a cube on this side, and this guy just applies the, actually we can do it the other way. We start with a cube on this side. Let's put a null here and call this cube, and let's put a null here and call this sphere. Sphere. I can't type. Sphere. So we're gonna put the sphere here and the other one here, and then it just applies that. By default, it just already applied that there, because you can see the start one is a cube, and it applied the transition to that one. So what I did, it's added a falloff. Let's say a shape falloff. No, we can try this, but I don't think it's gonna work, because these are not actually. Yeah, it's working actually. So you can see we can use this falloff. Now we can transition between one and the other. You can see that's what's happening here. We basically transforming. If we animate this and like here to here, you can see that we are just blending or transforming a cube into a sphere, which is basically a line shape, which is really cool. You can use this effect for a bunch of stuff. So what I did is actually created more copies of this. Instead of just using these guys, let me make this a copy of this so I can have more things. So instead of doing just this one, I created an instancer, which is just to create stacks of these guys. So let's create one here and put the cube there and go to grid. No, grid, is it what I want? Yeah, grid. And then just say the step's gonna be smaller. No, whoa, that is bad. A MOPs plane falloff will also the trick if you just want to blend. I don't use the plane. I haven't used the plane falloff, but I don't really know how to use this guy. So, but anyway, let's. The shape falloff is the same thing. I guess the plane is just one plane, infinitely plane. Hey Santosh, what's up? So what I did is just added a few things here. Let's say let's make this guy smaller. So I don't want that much. No, I don't want grid. I want, what do I want here? Linear? No. Radio? No. What was it? Yeah, it is grid actually, I think. But let's make these guys bigger. I'm not sure. I'm getting too much copies here, and that's not what I want. Let's remove a little bit of this. Okay, so that's what I want. Let's put this to 0.9. Just make it like that. So I want a few blocks here, and let's make, I don't know, like 5 blocks high, maybe, yeah, 6. And that's what I'm gonna do. Let's you can do the same for the other side. Just do the sphere there, and we have some spheres, so we can blend now between those two the same way. I just generated all that stuff. Yeah, that's what I thought, Tim. It's just like a slider, but yeah. But I actually do want. I don't know if does the plane have like a smooth? No, it doesn't have a smooth value. So that's not what I want. I do want the linear falloff has like smoothing, goes from 0 to 1, and has between values, and this is like just one value, right? This is just like one thing, and it doesn't have any parameters to animate, so I can't animate the value, which is not what I want. That's not what I want with the with this. So now we can just do the same thing. Instead of doing that, we can connect these guys here, and we can use again a shape falloff. Let's rotate this in this direction, minus 90 degrees, and if we see this result, we should be getting some whoa, it's not working. Why? This is the spheres, and why the hell is it not working now? Do scale, do transform, blah blah blah. That's weird. Why is it not working? Why is it not working? Let me see what I did with my scene. I don't know. This looks like it should work. Let me know if I'm doing something wrong there. Let's see what I did in the other scene. Let's just bring that up really quickly. I'm not opening that. Okay, let's see what I did here. So yeah, that's what. Oh, yeah. I had to unpack this. All right. Yes. So again, I'm doing. This is actually working, but I'm doing the mistake that I'm considering that this is geometry and it's not. So I just in this case I just use the instances to create geometry, but I need to unpack it. So unpack. So we don't really want geometry here. I mean points. We want geometry because we want to do this. We want to blend the geometry, because if not, we're just blending between centers basically. All right, so this is what I did with that. You can see it is already doing mostly of what we want. Let's animate this like this, keyframe there, and let's go to 48 and keyframe there. So we have that. It's just turning cubes into sphere, which is already really cool. Let's give it that linear transition. There we go. You know what? I'm gonna do this quicker. I'm gonna move this guy to 24. Yeah. Okay. Now that's faster. I don't think we're gonna do any smoke or explosions today, Max Day. We are on another completely different topic. So Mexican, sorry. So we are doing that, and the thing, what I did to make this into to convert these guys into active objects or rigid body objects, I just put a dot network here, and then here let's put on a packed object, and a rigid body solver here. Connect this. Let's give it some gravity force, and for the rigid body solver, I mean the packed object, just select the first input, and right now let's make the geometry here. I'm gonna do an XF. I'm just gonna transform this up to the floor. I do this all the time. Why? I mean, I don't know why I don't have a freaking preset. So that it's on the floor. I just copy this and put it here. So those things are on the floor because I want to create a ground plane here, and just merge these two guys like that. So this should already be working, but it's not doing what we want. And is it? It's not working. All right, so it's not working for some reason. What happened to this guy? Should be. Oh, we moved this, and the fall off. We moved this geometry higher, so the fall off was starting there. All right. So the fall off, it's too low now. Just gonna move it over there. So it's doing that, and I'm not sure what is not working here. This should just say create active objects. Let's create active objects, why not? So the rigid body solver is complaining about something. Let's see what's happening, because here we don't have packed objects because we unpack them here. Okay, so that's what's happening here. So we what I do here is to just put an assemble so we can create packed objects again with a create packed geometry there. So we now have packed fragments again, and now it should work. And now you can see this is working, but there's a few things. You can see they are falling and they're just stacked there. So There's a few things. It's not working. The transition is not working anymore. So that is because here in the RBD packed object we're just creating the initial type to active objects, and after the first frame it's just nothing's happening. So we can actually say deforming active objects, and that would actually do it like that. That's pretty cool. So they are already doing what we want there. See, that's happening. It's pretty cool. We could actually go ahead and control when they are animated, when they are active. Sorry. Yeah, that's what I did. I'll click on the parameter to add a keyframe. Yeah, that's what I did. What else? Oh, you were asking, sorry, MexGen, you were asking how to add that keyframe. Yeah, you can just press Alt and click on any parameter to add a keyframe, or click here and add a keyframe to every parameter there in that row. Just press Alt and click, and you can set a keyframe. Sorry for that. So now this is actually doing that, but we're gonna leave it to there for this thing, because we're gonna move into another setup. So the other setup was somebody asked me if we can actually, we can give it nah, I'm not gonna do that. You can do more stuff on your own. Somebody asked me on the comments that if you can use some font and modify that with MOPs, and of course you can do that. As I said, I've been doing that way before MOPs, years and years ago, when pack primitives were invented in the late 1970s. I'm just kidding. But yeah, so what if you are not starting with instances and stuff like that? So let's do something different. I'm just gonna use this name here. So because this is something that motion graphics artists are gonna have to do, like animate text and stuff like that. So what we can do, let's extrude this first, because you want nice looking fonts, not just flat. And one thing I do with fonts, with letters, it's if you try to bevel this just like that. Let's put the back, because you want bevels, right? We don't want this to be just like that. If you want bevels, you actually can do that with a poly bevel, of course, and then you can say ignore the flat edges and just do the corners there. But it's weird. You can see this area, it's just not round, and it's not what you want. And I don't know why, but the bevel has a bunch of issues in Houdini. They need to fix this. I will mention this in the somewhere again. But what I do for to have perfect bevel, this is my trick for perfect bevels for fonts. What you do in the poly extrude, you enable the front and back seams if you want it on both sides, and then you use the bevel again using those groups. You just apply the bevel to those groups, and now the bevel is perfect. You can see the bevel, it's doing exactly what you want to do. It's not weird. It's not doing anything weird. You can see it here. It's good now, just by using those edges from the poly bevel. Those boundary groups in the bevel just makes it look really nice. So that's my trick for having perfect looking bevels with your fonts. Alright, so now that we have this perfect bevels with your fonts, and it's gonna work if you change if you change your text, is still gonna work. So it's a really nice way to do that. So let's do just 3 letters for now. And now we can pass this to Bob's. Actually, what did I do here? That's too much bevel. Too much bevel. 0.2, 0.02. All right. So that's enough bevel. So now what we can do is actually the strut. Did I change the scale of this or something without knowing? Yes, I did. Pfft. Change the scale. All right. Sorry for that. So now what we can do is just do an assemble, and we can create pack geometry with this, and we have pack geometry. And since we have pack geometry and MOPs uses pack geometry, we can now do anything that MOPs can do here. So the only thing we need to do first is just use the convert. The MOPs convert node here. We need to use that just so it gives us actually I don't think we need the assemble. We don't need to create the pack geometry there, sorry. Because the MOPs will convert the MOPs convert will convert this. We're just using this guy to create the name attribute, or we can not do that and just use the MOPs convert node. So this guy will convert these guys to pack primitives. So let's keep the assemble out of the question here. So this will convert this to pack geometry, and we'll add the parameters that it needs to work. So can you make a sphere that morphs into a pig head while falling into the ground as an RVD with MOPs? Sure. If you can morph the pig head into a sphere, you can morph it. Yeah, sure. You can totally do it. Can this be done with an SVG or Illustrator files? Yes, you can import IE files here. You can see if you go to import geometry, you can see here that it's you can import AI files, which is Illustrator files, and you can import. SVGs are not supported, but you can import AI or what is the other one? Where is it? I can't see it. Damn it. The other one, here it is. It's EPS. So you can import EPS or AI files. The AI files shouldn't be too new because I think the Houdini libraries are a little bit old. But yeah, you can import that. EPS files are better. So now that we converted these to primitives, or to packed objects, actually shape falloff, we can just do whatever we've been doing with this. So you can see these guys are, so this person wanted to transform this, MOPs transform, and we can rotate these guys like that. Maybe that's not the right axis, it's this one. And we can already just animate this with MOPs really quickly. So actually I want to do this rotation to set. Was it? Or I can animate it the other direction. Rotate this 90 degrees and just do brack like that. That's better. So now if we just animate the fall off to this, make this over there. So now we can just have our text being revealed or rotated. Yes, EPS files you can import into Houdini. They work pretty well. So you can also just I don't know, scale the primitives from 0 to big. You can do whatever you want here. So, and this is just for different, for objects there are not actually MOPs generated objects. You can just convert them any geometry to MOPs basically. So we can put another thing here. We can put MOPs, I don't know, and then go to the end, and that would work just as well. And you can use the spring at the end to make it look more cool. Not that spring. Here is a paranga. They have a little bit of springiness there. I don't like the default. The default is pretty springy. But yeah, you can do that. You can add some color modifier. Choose the that one's good. That looks super weird. And you can add maybe a randomize modifier on top, etc. You can do whatever you want with this. This is already just the randomize the scale, the uniform scale. That's not working. Weird. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong here. Maybe I should do this before. Yeah, not sure what I'm doing wrong here. I'm probably doing something wrong here. I'm not sure. Is there a way to visualize data like from Excel in MOPs? I have no idea what you're talking about. What kind of data? You could import data, of course, and visualize it in different ways in Houdini, but I don't know what kind of data you're talking about. But yeah, you could import data with Python or whatever and visualize it. So there you go. That's something else you can do with MOPs. Just generate your own geometry and then do it like that. Again, you can make this active and actually, should we do that? I don't know. Let's see. Okay, let's try something else. Are there any questions? You guys have any other questions? Let's make this cover the whole thing like that. Time shift effect? What time shift effect? I'm not using any time shift effects. What do you mean by time shift effect? That's alright, Maxian. If you want to do this in Cinema, you can do it in Cinema. The start of the rotation. Well, the start of the rotation, it's the combination of the fall off, which it's animating along, you can see it moving there, and the transfer modifier. That's because of the fall off. That's what the fall off does. The fall off, it's animated along the letters. That's why I'm animated this thing moving along. And then the transform takes that fall off and does whatever it needs to do. Well, the thing about Houdini is that you can do what Cinema can do, but you can do a lot more stuff with this. So, but it's up to you. If in my case, if I had to do this, I will do it in Houdini because I don't own Cinema for this, so I can't use it. So I will do it in Houdini. But if you have a copy of Cinema and that's what you use for your work, then you're welcome to do it there. So let's do something else here. Let's do this falloff. Let's do that again here at the end. And we're gonna combine like this thing here with this thing here. So this falloff I'm gonna call active, and I'm gonna move the keyframes to, let's say, frame 60. It's gonna start. So let's go to frame. Let's move all this stuff to frame. Come on. I hate this. Man, I hate this so much. Need to report this issue again. So I'm gonna do it with 12 frames. It's alright. Linear. Okay, so I'm doing another falloff here, and this is falloff. It's gonna start at frame 60. You can see there, starting to affect those letters there, and it's moving along there. We can actually see the value of the falloff here, which is important. Let's go to see the MOPs falloff. You can see the value here for each letter. They're gonna start at 0, or actually at 1. I actually want this to be the other way, so I'm gonna rotate this 90 degrees. So they start at 0, and then as they move along, it's starting to give them some value, and at the end they are all gonna be at 1. So I can use this value to make the letters active. So if we use this setup here, let's copy this setup. I don't want you to. Let's make this start at 60 and do this. So this should reset because it has the old thing there. Reset. Come on, why are you not resetting? So there we go. It's reset now. Cool. So this is not really deforming active objects. You can just create active objects, I think. Yeah, okay. So basically I'm doing, why is it looking, why is it doing that here? I don't know, it's weird. This is not right. Weirdo. Okay, so this .NET, it's making just all the letters active at this frame. So the frame this starts, frame 60, is just making all objects active and they're falling, right? But that's not what I want here, and Houdini is acting weird. Let's see, maybe we're gonna crash or something. Are we crashing Houdini or what? No. Okay. Okay. It's not crashing. Alright. So, but there is an option here in the packed object to override attributes. So let me activate this, and I'm just gonna override the active parameter there. So if I do that, now nothing's gonna happen, or actually everything falls still. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm just gonna use an attribute wrangle, and using the MOPs falloff attribute, I'm gonna make the objects active or not. So I'm gonna say if the MOPs falloff, it's greater than 0.25, let's say. If that is true, let's do something else. Just do this. So if the falloff is greater than that value, I'm gonna assign I'm gonna make the object active. which means basically make it a rigid object or an active object that can move. So that's why the parameter is called active. Okay, so if the falloff is greater than 0.25, it will make it active. If not, they're gonna stay inactive. So now if we see this, you can see now the letters are falling, but they are using the falloff that we create. You can see now first the T, it's being active, and then the A, the N. They're not falling. We can even make this higher if we go, maybe make the falloff bigger. So you can see now the letters are being active as with using that falloff, which is pretty cool. And now maybe we can just make a switch here to switch from this to this at frame. What if frame is greater than 59? So now we have the first animation here is playing whatever we have here, and then at 60 the simulation takes over and makes the letters active, and we have this combination of just animating whatever we have and then passing it to DOPs really quickly, which is it's really cool. Alrighty, so that's gonna be it, guys. Do you have any questions? You can do a lot of stuff with these things. Can you use a custom attribute for a falloff? Sure. If you name the attribute MOPs falloff, it will use that, because it's just calling, this is just called, the attribute's called MOPs falloff. So if you put your attribute and call it MOPs falloff, it will use that, I guess. The I and the at symbol, if you this means you're creating if you put the at symbol here, that means it's an attribute. You're gonna create an attribute and this is the type of attribute. The I is an integer. You can put an F to create a floating value, or you can create a B to create a vector value. The active value needs to be an integer, so that's why you have to call it like that. You can see here this MOPs falloff attribute, it's a float, and this is an integer, so that's why what that means. No, it's not an attribute called I, it's an integer. Yeah. Okay, so that's it. I think you can see that you can do a lot of stuff with MOPs and basically all around with packed primitives. It's pretty cool to do packed primitive stuff. Hey Fedor, thank you for joining us. It's been great to have you here, even if it's 2 a.m. there. Awesome, man. Thank you for joining us today. Users, they're writing MOPs? Why would they do that? I don't know. I think MOPs, it's a nice tool to have on your belt. If you don't want to use it, well, don't use it. If you are afraid of Houdini being easy, then you are afraid of yourself actually being too guarded of whatever you know. If if I was afraid of Houdini being easy, I wouldn't do any of this stuff that I do. uh, I investigate so much and figure stuff so much, and I give it to you guys for free. Like, I'm not afraid of tools making my work easier. If I can make my work faster and easier, I can get out of this chair and go have time with my wife, with my daughter, with my dogs, outside of the house. So I don't know why there's some people that think that Houdini should be hard. I don't know. That's totally ridiculous to me. Can you take a quick moment to do a whirlwind effect with the text? I don't know. That's not as simple as you think. You could do that with just particles. Hey Eric, what's up, man? What's up? Houdini is actually easy. I don't know why people think that Houdini should be hard. And Houdini is simple. But as anything, if you want to get more in depth and in depth and in depth in stuff, of course it's gonna get hard and hard and hard. Harder and harder as you get in the depths of Houdini. But whatever, man. If people wanna do that, well, you could do that with MOPs, man. Just make a shape, a falloff that moves the text like this in a circle, and then have the text in a place at the end. I don't know, but you can just do it with MOPs, I guess. I think, I don't know. I have to think about it. Only problem with Houdini is you have to change your thinking. Well, maybe because the thinking behind other applications is wrong. Because Houdini has the right idea. If you already learned bad in other applications, then you have to change. Hey, Trudy Freak. Saludos hasta Madrid, amigo. Yeah, so I don't know. Let's not start war here. Okay, so no more questions. We should finish there. Finish now, I think. So yeah, Starius. Just think about your effect in different sections. Like one part will be moving up, and then the other part will be moving around, and so you can break those two things together into two effectors, and then you can just do your whirlwind thingy. Houdini does take time like any other application. No 3D application is easy. There's no 3D applications that are simple. When I learned Maya, I spent so much time learning that stuff. And it's hard. Any 3D application is hard. Any 3D application is hard to learn. It's just the way it is. So all right, so let's stop here, and we can yeah, that's it. You guys are just it's cool that we can have little discussions. It's alrighty. Uh, no worries, Tim. My pleasure. All right, so guys, I'll see you next week. If you like MOPs and if you like your life not to be hard, then use it. If you want to have your life be hard, why don't you start with C++ and do it everything from scratch? That's what I say. If you're gonna complain about these simple stuff, just grab C++ and do it and everything from scratch. Write your own renderer and write your own object, scene management, etc. So, all right, I'll see you guys next week. Next week we're gonna maybe do some smoke stuff. You been guys asking about smoke? Yeah, I'll get something ready for that. All right, see you guys next week. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you guys being here. It's pretty fun to talk with you guys every week. I really look forward to this live streams. See you next week, guys. Keep learning, and let's keep learning together, right? I'll see you next week. Bye.